Everybody, welcome to the English Matters grammar lesson for each one of us. Today I'm going to teach you a brand new lesson from English language. So before I introduce the lesson of the day, I want to give out a quick information that you can get the copy of this particular book which I just got uploaded yesterday. This is for the ICSS students who are preparing for class 10 board exams, and this is one of the chapters from poetry section after Blenheim. This particular book would definitely help you to prepare this chapter thoroughly. You will not have any question or confusion after you read from this book. You can get this copy from Amazon. Right now this is available in the Kindle version. You can also get the ebook of this particular topic. All right, so soon you visit amazon.com or amazon.in and get a copy of this particular chapter after Blenheim, a complete handbook by, you can see the name. So let's get started with today's lesson. Today I'm going to teach you mood. Now it comes to mood. What is a mood? What do we understand by a mood? Now, mood is something to do with our attitude, okay? How we react in a certain situation. But when it comes to English language, we have to understand in such a way that we should not have any confusion later on whenever we have any question based on this topic. Now, when we talk about mood, it is to do with verb. Now, we have to ask what is the mood of the verb? Okay, is it something uh, just a statement of the fact, or are we asking any question? If it is a statement of the fact or just question, then it comes under one section of a mood. All right, then we can always use verb to command something or to make some wish or ask someone to do something as a request or prayer. So that is another form of verb where we command, wish or pray. Now third form of verb, we can use it in any kind of situation which seem to be not real. So I've written here unreal situation. All right, contrary to the real, contrary to the fact. Okay, so that is something we call it mood. Now based on these distinction, I need to make a change here because this particular one, the fact, will just go to the last section of the type of mood. We'll study it in a while. So contrary to the fact. All right, let me change the color. Just give me a moment. Okay, I need to change it to, okay, all right, thank you. Now here, if we pass some statement like the movie has been released, it's just one statement. Neither we asking question nor we are giving any unreal situation. So we are, maybe there's a new movie got released, so we are passing a statement, the movie has been released. One statement. We can also say, where were you? Say, for if I want to ask a question, I can add to this, where were you? It means you looked for the person but you didn't find. Suddenly he came in front of you and say, where were you? So that's it. So you can ask question. So based on this, this is one category. Now second category is, I said, command or wish, like pick it up. You're commanding, pick it up. Or God bless you. So you're wishing. All right. Now here in unreal situation, if only I received, I would bring it. So definitely you didn't receive. That's why you're saying, if only I received, I would bring it. So that is something hypothetical situation, which is not real. You're not passing in a statement. So based on this distinction, there are three types of mood. One is called, the first one is indicative mood, imperative mood, and subjunctive mood. Now out of these three moods, you would see that indicative and imperative mood are something which seem to be simpler as compared to subjunctive mood. So indicative mood, which we come across in every day of life, we always, whatever sentences we make, either it's indicative or sometimes we definitely command, wish, that comes under imperative mood. These two will be not so difficult to understand, but when it comes to subjunctive mood, we really have to cast our attention in order to understand this, because it's something confusing, because it creates a lot of situation, and you have to really focus on this particular third type of mood. So let's start with indicative mood. Now when you see, look at this, indicative mood is form of verb that expresses a statement of fact or ask question. Why I have written a statement of fact? If it is not a fact, then it is unreal situation. So you have to mention you grant it that it's a fact. Suppose the examples are, we all ran down the hill when we saw the trees caught fire. Okay, it's a statement. The nation pays tribute to the martyrs. Martyrs, who are martyrs? Who die for the country, for the sake of our nation, who sacrifice their lives. They are martyrs. It is not good for eyes to watch television all the time. It is also a statement. You are right. You are expressing a general truth. The task that you had assigned them is done. So it's also a statement. You're just passing a remark. All right. Now let's go to the imperative mood. Imperative mood is a form of verb that expresses command, or whether what you have to do or you don't have to do, wishes, you wish something, or you pray also, that comes under imperative mode. For example, Sheila said, take your bag and leave. Okay, so it's a command, take your bag and leave. Stand in a queue. It's also a command. Don't shout. Clean your room. So can you see? Okay, you can add one more to it if you want to put some sort of wishes or prayer. So you can say, have mercy on us. Okay, so have mercy on us. You can put exclamation mark. It's an imperative mode. So these kind of words or sentences we get to hear. So there's nothing as such you have a difficulty to understand indicative and imperative mode. You would be able to identify them when you have chunk of sentences given easily. So let's go and understand this subjunctive mood, which is a real bone of contention when it comes to understand mood. It is all about subjunctive mood. Sorry. Now, okay, it is of two types: present subjunctive mood and past subjunctive mood. Now, what is present subjunctive mood? We use either expressions like, we have to, when we get to here, it is recommended, it is necessary, it is vital, it is important, it is suggested. If you get to hear such statement in the beginning of a sentence, you have to keep your sense away. Oh, this comes under the subjunctive mood. Now why it is so unique? Because you will see in this case the verb doesn't have to, like, if we have learned the grammar rule that we add s or es to the third form and singular subject. Okay, it's like he goes, she goes. But in subjunctive mood we do not follow that rule. What we do, we just use the base form of the verb irrespective of any subject. So here in this case, I go and he go, but depends on how we are going to start the sentence. So if it is going to get started with such expressions like it is recommended, it is necessary, it is vital, it is suggested, then I'll tell you how to make sentences. So we have to use base form of the verb without using to in front of it. Okay. For example, it is recommended that she be smart enough to tackle this situation. So you're telling about someone that she should be smart enough to handle the situation. So you're starting with this expression, which is called subjunctive mood. So it is recommended that. Now here you can say, after she, I have used be form of the verb with no to in front and smart. So we are not saying she stays smart, nothing. She be smart enough to tackle the situation. If second one, look at this. I recommend that she be smart enough to tackle the situation. This is another form. Okay. Now here, if you look at this, this is all in the present form. Now in case if you use recommend as a verb, I can say I recommend that. If you're using it as an expression, it is recommended. So these are the two differences. It is recommended It is an expression. I recommend, here recommend has been used as a verb. It is important that he be precise in his presentation. It is suggested that he be precise in his presentation. Now, you have to understand that in this case, it is used mainly in formal English, which is very rare these days. Sometimes you can see you have a liberty to drop that from the sentence. So you can also say like this. Let me write it down. Suppose you want to say, let me take the statement number 4. It is suggested. We can drop that. We can say it is suggested he be precise in his presentation. So this is how you can use it without adding that to it. It can be also done. So these are called in subjunctive mood, and which form of present subjunctive mood. Okay. If you want to use in past, everything will remain the same. Only thing you can say, it was suggested. Like if I want to apply it for number 5, it was suggested he be precise in his time. There would not be any change in the verb. Now there can be some changes. We can use instead of be, we can use should, okay, as a replacement. We can say these are called alternatives. We can also say I take the example number 1. It is recommended that she be smart enough to tackle this situation. Let me take this particular number 1. Let me highlight this so that it will be easier for us to understand. Now, what I'm doing, I'm using a modal verb. It is recommended that she should be smart enough to tackle the situation. We can use the sentence in this manner also. So we can add modal, or we can also use for. It is recommended for her. So we have said for her, then we have to use to infinitive, to be. Okay, so we have to use to before the verb. So it is recommended for her to be smart enough to tackle this situation. So that's how you can use alternatives in case of subjunctive mood, and that is present subjunctive mood. Quickly, we'll go to the past subjunctive mood. Now, always remember that I told you that subjunctive mood is used in an unreal situation. You are not taking it as a statement. So if you're saying it is recommended that she be smart enough to tackle the situation, so I'm not passing in a statement that she is smart enough to tackle the situation. No, you are giving a hypothetical example that if she becomes, or if she be smart enough to tackle the situation, things would be fine. So you are imagining her to stand smart. That's how you are using a hypothetical situation, not a real situation, and that is called subjunctive mood. Now let's understand past subjunctive mood. What happens in past subjunctive mood? That only thing that we start with the sentence it is recommended, then in the past it will be it was recommended. But especially when it comes to past subjunctive mood, we need to remember few things, that it will have conditional to form, like if, I wish, like I wish, if only. So if you get to hear such expressions like if only, I wish, I would rather, it's time. Remember these expressions. These all are unreal, used to express unreal situation. So whenever you have a sentence starting with if only, I wish, I would rather, it's time, these are all will be past subjunctive mood, and these are all used to express an unreal or a hypothetical situation. And do remember to use the verb form were with them. Okay, we never use was, so we have to always use were form. Okay, I'll tell you how it happens to be reported speech section. For example, if only I studied well, I would excel in the exam. Definitely you did not study. It's a hypothetical exam. It's an unreal situation. Since you did not study, that's why you are saying if only I studied well. Can you see? If only I studied well, then what would have happened? Obviously, I would excel in the exam. Okay, so remember this. If only I studied, past subjunctive. If so, I wish. Generally, with the grammar rule, we should have used he was, but in the subjunctive mood, which is unreal situation, always use were. It uses were. It takes were. I wish he were ready. He wouldn't have missed this trip. Okay, I would rather you did not tell the truth. Okay, I would rather you did not tell the truth. It's time he took his studies seriously. So it's time. Another expression for the past subjunctive mood. She looks. If something you get to see in the present form, okay, then let me tell you, she looks as if, or as though she were the only candidates appearing for the interview. So the subject has taken were, she were, as if she were. He looks as though he has completed his assignments. Now, if you see, if you something happening in the present, which is seem to be real, okay, so you can use the present form of the sentence, present form of the verb in the reporting section. So he looks as though he has completed his assignments. So that's how we use past subjunctive mode. So all these things would remind if only, I wish, I would. Okay, I wish is actually studied under conditional two type of sentences where you use I wish I were a bird. Okay, I wish I had done this, it would have helped me. Okay, so these kind of conditional are considered to be conditional too. And let's do one quick exercise in order to attempt that how much we have understood. Okay, so fill in the blanks with the right form of the verb. Mood, also identify the type of mood. Look at the number one. In case if there's no blank given, then you have to identify what type of mood is this. So look at the first one. Little Johnny Tucker sat on the meadow, sat on the grass. So what could it be? Did you say, yeah, it's just a statement, it's just a remark, statement of fact. So you can, it is indicative mode. Excellent, indicative mode. Let's go to the next one. I wish we dash dance now. So if I give you a choice, suppose I give you a verb can, what would you use? I wish we could. Yes, we could. So you are imagining a situation. It's not a real situation. It's a hypothetical situation. So whenever there's unreal hypothetical situation, it comes under subjunctive mode. Right. Correct. Subjunctive mode. Let's go to the number 3. If only you dash here, we would enjoy this get together. Remember, what verb form do we take? Or be? Yes, were. If only you were, never say you were here. And this definitely, if it is something unreal situation, it will be subjunctive mood. Correct. Should we go number 4? Yes, let's go to number 4. You should be quiet. Now, we have to think of it. It's not that your statement, your suggestion, it's a suggestion, you should be quiet. So it's a hypothetical situation because you are not passing a remark that you have to be quiet. Or you are not saying that he was quiet. You should be quiet. So it's a improbable situation, but you are willing him to be quiet, unreal situation. So it is called subjunctive mode. Okay, next one. Have mercy on us. So it's a wish. You remember, wish, command, prayer, all comes under imperative mode. Yes, excellent. May God guide you. What sort of mood? What is it? May God guide. You're wishing, you're entreating for someone. So again, it will be imperative mode. So we are going good. Let's go to number 7. I once, what is that? I once got drenched in the rain and it was so much fun. Okay, so he is passing a remark statement which was, it's a remark statement of fact that is called indicative mode. Excellent. All right, let's go to number 8. It is time the government dash laws against bullying. Now it is time that the government, so there's no law, or if I give you option, bring. So if I say it is time the government, now it's time, remember I gave you the option. If something, a sentence starts with it's time, I wish, these are all hypothetical, there's no as such law, but it's time the government, what should be, brings or bring? Bring. Or if you want to use an alternative, it can be government should bring. There is a choice. It can be government should bring laws against bullying, fine, or it can be only bring, no brings. Subjunctive mode. So it will be subjunctive mode. All right. Number 9. He laughed at us as if we. So he laughed at us as if. So you remember, it's again, it's a hypothetical example, as if you're not in real, but as if. So it's actually giving you a clue. It's not a statement of fact because it's saying probable, as if. So it should have a verb form or be were, and it is, of course, when it comes to as if improbable situation, it is subjunctive mode. All right. Now let's go to the question number 10, and it seems it's the last one. It is suggested for them dash indoors in this riot. Now let me give you a verb form, stay. Okay. So it is suggested for them. Now what can be the possibility? It is suggested for them, it can be stay or to stay, because if there is an alternative, you remember I told you there can be alternative. It is recommended for, you can use for her, then right before the verb form you use to. So you can say it is suggested for them to stay indoors in this riot. And what could be the form type of the mood? Of course, subjunctive mood. So I think this lesson help you to understand the concept of mood and its types. And if you have any question, you can always ask it in the comment section below, and I'll definitely try to clear your doubt. And do comment a copy of the book, and I'll see you soon with a new lesson. Until then, you take care, keep learning. Bye bye.